Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Fun and Games. I'm Michelle Stone.
I'm Jenna Rose.
And we are the Underground Music Collective. We are joined by a very special creative that we both know in the scene. Haven't got to work with him yet. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Scotty Chapman from the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. So we're actually doing something very special today on Fun and Games. We're debuting a new game, and you guys love that. We're going to do Two Truths and a Lie, which we thought was very fitting for the Garden of Eden. It's very ironic. So yeah, we're gonna start out and go into it. I'm gonna give you a person, and Scotty, you're just gonna tell me what you think the lie is. Right. So we'll start with Elvis Presley. After returning from Germany, I briefly dated Marilyn Monroe. I like milkshakes with bacon, bananas, and peanut butter. My first pink Cadillac caught on fire the day after I bought it. So 1, 2, or 3?
I'm going to say 1.
Damn, you're good. Yeah, you're good. You're good. There's actually, you ever heard of Jack Brown's Burger Joint?
Yeah.
They have an Elvis Presley burger there, and it's bananas, peanut butter, and
really?
Yeah,
The only reason I knew that was because Bill Burr has a segment where he said Elvis's manager had some contract where he couldn't travel outside of America.
Wow. That's crazy that adds up.
Yeah.
So tell everyone about the Garden of Eden, kind of when you started making music. When did you put together this band?
Well, the Garden of Eden has gone through very many formations of members. I've played in it, or I've started it since college when I was 18, 19 years old, and I moved down to Nashville when I was 20, and has just been trying to find bandmates like bassists and drummers and stuff like that, and we've just been playing in the Nashville scene since I was 20, about 4 years ago, and finally got a solid lineup now of Jared and Chris are really in it to win it with me, so it feels good.
Chris Ryan. Chris Ryan, I was gonna say from the Blue Trees. I saw him playing with you. That's incredible.
So this lineup that I have now is we've been together for the past year.
Wow.
Year and a half, and so we're still moving forward.
Great. Yeah. That's incredible. Where'd you come from? Where are you from originally?
I moved from Indiana.
So you're Indiana boys on the Indiana Nights. We just CNA, the artist that was just here, one of them was from Indiana.
Really?
As well. Yeah. Man, they make some good musicians.
Them, yeah.
Yeah, some really good ones.
Yeah.
That's incredible. What inspired the name besides your last name, or is that really kind of what inspired the Garden of Eden? Because it's Scotty Eden.
Well,
Chapman's your last name, isn't it? So it's not Eden.
Scotty Eden's just it's a play on word.
How'd you come up with it?
The Garden of Eden. Me and Dustin were hanging out in my van and just talking about life and all kinds of things. And I don't know, we were talking about biblical stuff, and the phrase "the Garden of Eden" came up, and it just kind of the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Eden. I kept saying it, and I don't know, it just went really well with my vibe, a hippie flower child rock and roll kind of thing. There was a lot of symbolism in it. A lot of it's mythological in a way. I thought it was kind of cool, and it was really it's easy to say, and also when you tell someone hey, what's your band? The Garden of Eden. You don't have to spell it. It's
they already know.
Familiar.
Everybody's
yeah, and there's a lot of marketability into it, and I don't know, it just worked.
Yeah, I love talking about biblical stuff with Dustin.
Yeah,
we have gotten into many biblical conversations, and it's just it's good to be able to have people to talk to that about, and you can just I know you're probably like me. If you're talking to Dustin, you can just go forever.
Yeah,
they're referring to Dustin of The Reveal.
Mm-hmm. The Dustin, the brother Dusty. Shout out. Yeah, that's incredible. So I know you told us that you're working on Safari. Is that true? Yeah. You want to kind of tell everybody a little bit about that and what it is and
yeah. So Safari is a record we've been working on for the past year and a half, 2 years, and essentially it's I've brought in 18 different musicians from the Nashville rock scene to be featured on each different song. So each song has a different lineup of bassists, drummers on each song.
Wow!
So it's a pretty cool community collaboration to make music, and each recording session was great. And Ricky Dover Jr. played on it, Dixie Carl, Dustin played on it, obviously Chris and Jared, my bandmates, and Josh Norfleet from The Reveals played on it, all kinds of people.
Really? So just everybody who's a part of the scene.
Yeah, just kind of brought everybody in to create a project together, and what's come out of it is great, really. And I'm really excited about it.
Well, that's incredible. I feel like we're creating such a big community because I'm born and raised here. And just coming into like seeing the scene, how it was and how it is now, it's like, I mean, you Indiana boys are just coming up here and it's like you're putting together the scene. Dustin's actually about to drum on my single because I'm coming out with my very first single.
Cool.
And it's just so cool to see different people like, hey, yeah, let's all just collaborate.
Mm-hmm. It's really great to see how everybody has integrated with each other's projects and supporting each other. And
it's very cool.
It is.
Yeah. It's rare to see that in a music community.
It's so
it can
rare.
Get very competitive, but not here. Here it's like very like, yeah, dude, like want to play on a show? Yeah, let's jam together. You know, it's like very, very, very communal here.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy to see each other work together. Like when we did our backyard sessions this Sunday, and I had my first performance, you know, like I was talking to Jenna about this and my friends, I was like, it felt so good to be done with a song and you look up and your friends are genuinely like, oh my God. And they're not like some people, they're like, oh, good job. They're actually like, oh my God, good job.
Yeah.
And like, that's still so good. It makes you feel so supported. And it is, like you said, it's very rare. I mean, Nashville is just such a unique spot.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a beautiful spot for cultivating all of that kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's Miss Jenna's turn to see if Scotty can guess the lie and the two truths and a lie.
I have a question here.
We're debuting this for the first time, so we're learning as we go. But it's a fun party game, so...
Okay, we're gonna go with Mary Tyler Moore.
Ooh.
Okay, first one is on the Mary Tyler Moore show. I had to fight producers for the right to wear pants. Second option is in my first job, I shot 39 commercials in just 5 days. And the third option is I married my mother's doctor.
We'll say number 2.
Mm-mm.
No.
Do you want to do another guess?
My second guess would be number 3.
No, it's number 1.
It.
She did not have to fight the producers to wear pants, apparently. So that's pretty cool.
She's like pants.
She's a badass.
I don't really know much about her.
That's awesome. I used to watch Mary Tyler Moore every night. Like,
really?
I watched Nick at Night growing up every night, and Mary Tyler Moore is like, she's just so cool. She's always.
Could you have guessed that?
She was. I don't know if I would have guessed that because it's the way it's worded is like that she had to fight for it, which I believe she would have fought for it for sure. Because she's like such a feminist and a strong female character. And it's back in the 50s, I think, when you didn't really have strong female characters in the office. And she was like, she was a very strong female role in the workplace. And so she is.
That was right before we started burning our bras. Watch out for us, boys.
That's right.
So Scotty, I have to know, I've been seeing you around. We've never really got to kind of talk and get to know each other. We've had like moments at shows where we've kind of, I want to know like more just about you. What is like your musical influences and, besides music, what's something that you're passionate about that you really care about?
Besides music, let's see. I love to my pastimes, like other hobbies.
Yeah.
I love to paint. I really love.
Really?
Yeah,
that's right. I've seen a lot of your paintings.
Yeah, it was actually when everything shut down in coronavirus and everyone was stuck at home. I picked up painting. It'd be something to do. And then also, I've always played golf since I was like 10, 11, 12 years old.
Wow.
So as a pastime.
You've been to Topgolf?
I've been there once.
And did you like it?
Yeah, I like Topgolf. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I like going to the course.
So you like legit go. Do you like have like golf clothes or do you go in like your?
I mean, I have like golf shorts.
Okay, I was gonna say I want to see you out in bell bottoms on the golf court.
Yeah, my golf attire is very different.
It's like another alter ego of you.
Right.
I feel like different hobbies we have, like for me, and I feel like you probably be the same, and Jenna's the same as well. Like fashion is more than just clothing to us. It's like a statement.
Oh yeah.
Because I went from like being a young kid when I was in high school, I was like, screw the man, the government's out to get you, the meat industry is destroying the world, and I wore all black. I'm still like that, by the way, but now I wear colors. So I used to wear all black, tie my hair up, I'd have a hoodie, and when I turned about 19, 20, I started like wearing dresses and wearing colorful clothes, and now more often than not I wear all pink. Like 75% of the time I wear either all pink or all purple, and it's become like a part of me. So different hobbies I do, I find it's like to be a warrior you gotta dress like a warrior. I heard a guy say that and I was like, that's so true. That is so true.
Make a statement.
It is make a statement, yeah.
In high school, I used to have a different persona pretty much every day. Like I would be a hippie one day and a punk rock kid the next day and a goth the next day. And like,
really?
I just had all these different little country bumpkin one day. Like, I just had all these different personas. And I felt like I was all of those things for sure.
And
I was just representing each one. I had all the energy to wake up super early and do all that every morning.
And no responsibilities besides going to school.
Exactly. I could just like plan my outfits all evening, the night before. But that was I felt like really expressive and like very much like myself during that time. And then as I got older, I kind of and I got like office jobs and things like that. I kind of faded into more neutral stuff. But I feel like, I guess when I started going to Burning Man, I started getting a lot more expressive with my clothing again. And then especially moving here to Nashville, there's kind of always something going on. So there's always an excuse to dress up.
Oh, yeah.
And especially with us being on stage so often, it's kind of like you have just even more of that.
And everyone has their own style. And
everyone's creative here. Everyone's artistic. And so everyone just accepts if you're just like dressing crazy, it's fine.
They make their own clothes. I think too, like it's finally getting out of the point where people think that like to be I remember growing up, it was like either you're this or you're that. You can't be all of it in one. And I feel like that goes into music. The genres back in the day, it was like either you're rock or you're pop. And now it's like, what if you're like rock, pop, hillbilly, jazz?
Yeah, that's kind of
like that can be a thing.
Everything. Right. Yeah, that everything is kind of meshing together and everyone is pulling influences from everywhere. And
that's why it's important to be yourself.
To come together instead of trying to keep it separate.
What would you say you would classify your sound as?
I was call my music hippie psychedelic groove music.
There you have it. And so it is and it's amazing that we can just say that. And I always wondered how being younger, being the weirdo who never I always stuck to being myself. Back in the day, people kind of made fun of that. I was a weirdo in high school. And now it's people are like, dude, be yourself more. Be more of yourself, be weirder, be crazier. And I think it's great that we're finally accepting that. Okay. So I'm going to do my next person.
All right.
Let's do Stephen King.
Oh, all right.
Okay. I have had more books banned in schools than any other American author. I threw the first pitch in a Red Sox game in the movie Fever Pitch. I wrote the novel on which The Shawshank Redemption is based. So 1, 2, or 3.
All those could be true, I feel like. Say 2.
2. No, that's true. The lie is that he had more books banned in schools than any other author. I'm going to guess the authors that have been banned probably had to do something with slavery or something, because growing up, those were always the authors they tried to ban, were the ones that were putting out, I mean, you never heard about Nikola Tesla in high school.
Right.
You ever remember that?
It's contradicting what they're trying to teach.
Exactly. So I would feel like Stephen King wouldn't be when they were banned.
They wouldn't care about Stephen King, probably.
Yeah. Whatever. Murdering, killing. Yeah. So tell us more about what you're working on now. I know we kind of went over Safari a little bit, and you've been working on it that long. Have you been performing at shows? What is your plan as far as that?
So I just got back from a Florida tour the past 2 months.
Really? All in Florida?
Yeah, I was just all through Florida, a little bit in Georgia, southern Georgia. And that was pretty fun. So I was doing that to promote the record and get more fans, more Garden of Eden fans. And I just got back from that 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Really?
And
were you by yourself or?
Yeah, just me and my van, my guitar. And
wow.
Playing. It was a good time. I had a lot of fun out there. A lot of cool experiences. Met a lot of cool people. But now being back, I'm just trying to get my feet back together here in Nashville and book more gigs. And I got a show coming up June 19th at Bowie's. That'll be the album release party. So I'm
really?
Trying to work on promoting that and making it as big as possible and posting up flyers for it and all that stuff.
Oh, let us know. We'll cross promote for you too on Music City Movement. Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to make it a big event.
So are you collaborating with any artist?
Right now?
Yeah. Besides the local, besides your local people that are working on your stuff,
Yeah, playing in other bands or any artists.
Yeah.
Not currently right now. I was playing in a band with Steve Forrest for a minute, but that fell apart a while back. But I'm always looking for another group to play with. It's
I know
really
you were living with Dustin and you guys were kind of jamming, and now you moved out of there, haven't you? So you're not in there as much. Did that kind of affect how much you were jamming, or do you still kind of you're able, because now you're kind of, it seems like you went from living with people in a jam session to you're doing your own thing. Mm-hmm. You're living in a van, man with his guitar. How different is that for you?
Yeah, it's a little different because maybe when I play music, it's really just with my band now. It's not really just jamming with a lot of other people as much as it was when I was living in that house, because it's a very creative house, as we all know. It's there's always people coming and going, and jam sessions there.
Constant. Mm-hmm. Has it helped you focus more, or would you say it's?
A little bit, yeah. I can just focus on the Garden of Eden, kind of just get the things done that I need to get done for that.
Do you have any tips? This is something too I want to know because we were just talking about outside the van life. So there's a lot of people doing the van life where you fix up a van, you travel across, you live in it. I have a friend who shout out to Big Bertha. Their van, she's a red van. They're traveling across with their dogs, desert dwellers. Do you have any tips for someone that wants to, a musician especially, that wants to kind of
live in the van
and travel and tour?
Tips. What I would say is keep the van clean because vans can get dirty real quick, obviously.
Yeah.
And so it's like you got to clean that every morning. You got to organize and keep it clean or else you'll drive yourself nuts. But when you got a clean van, it's way easier. Planet Fitness membership is pretty good to shower.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, we'll get the black card so then you can go to each whatever one you want. And I don't know, whatever tips there could be.
Did you fix up your own van? Did you like do stuff to it? Or?
No, it's like a road trek camper van, so it came like.
Oh, it already came.
Yeah, with like a kitchen and everything.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, there's like a sink, stove, cabinets, bed.
Oh my God, do those have a lot of maintenance on them? Like how well do they drive?
It drives pretty good.
It drives really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had to do anything to it yet. So
that's incredible.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
That's so cool. It's your turn, Jenna. Give him a two truths and a lie. I'm kind of having fun with this game, honestly. I wish we had some whiskey right now. If any whiskey company wants to sponsor us, we are accepting those. We're accepting those.
Okay, I'm gonna do Walt Disney.
Ooh,
right.
I'm excited about this.
Okay. My grandmother gave me a copy of Grimm's Fairy Tales when I was 5. My first job was as a paperboy for the Kansas City Star. I tried to fight in World War I at age 16, but I was rejected.
I think I know this one.
I don't know much about Walt Disney. What was the first one again?
I know he was crazy.
My grandmother gave me a copy of Grimm's Fairy Tales when I was 5.
I'm going to say 3.
Nope, it's number 1.
It is number 1?
He did not get a copy of Grimm's Fairy Tales when he was 5 from his grandmother.
So
what? He tried to fight in the war when he was 16. See, that's so... But then again, I act like I even knew this person. So I'm like, yeah, Walt? No, that totally is not something he would do.
Well, it doesn't seem like it because you think like cute, cuddly, characters. You don't think he's like trying to run off to war.
Right. Yeah. But. Yeah. And also, like, he was like... I mean, he started Disney at a very young age, didn't he? Because it was like... Or was he older?
I don't know.
I don't know. So
speaking of Disney... What Disney character would you be if you were a character?
Goofy.
Goofy. Ooh, you kind of said yours earlier, but is that the same one you're going to choose, or would you be a different Disney character? Because that was just a fictional character. Right. So what Disney character would you be? I have to think about this.
Yeah, I have to think too. I don't know if I'm going to change my answer. Earlier, I said a liberated Jasmine. I think I'm going to stick with that because...
I already know who I'd be. I got it.
Yeah, I think
I'd be Pepe Le Pew. For sure. Because he's just got mad swagger. And I emulate him. Like when he grabs her and he's like, mwah, 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 mwah. That is very much you. He's just come here. Oh my gosh. So kind of back to your music. So you're working on the Safari. I have to know what took so long to make it come into fruition, like a year and a half. Is it COVID that had to do with that, or
part of it? Yeah. One thing with just like financially, it's all self-funded, so I don't have a whole lot of money, and so I had to do basically one song a month with my budget.
Feel free to donate as well.
Yeah,
always donate to musicians if you can.
I'm broke and living in my
What's
van,
your Venmo?
So my Venmo is Scott-Chapman-32. So
literally, you're helping make art. So
yeah, I can only do one song a month. So that took 10 months already there because there's 10 songs on the record. And then COVID hit, so that delayed everything. And the studio that we were working in got closed, essentially. So then I had to find a different studio to record in, and and then the mixing process and mastering processes and all that. It just kind of, so it's a lot that goes into the record, and financially just kind of everything had to kind of be spaced out.
Do you know how to mix and master? Or you just kind of guitar and singing? Do you know a bit about the production side of things?
Yeah, I produced the record, so I was hand in hand working with my mixing and mastering guy, saying want more of this, I want a little more reverb or this to be EQ'd like that. But as far as pushing the buttons and on Pro Tools and on the software, I don't know how to do it all, but I know what I want it to sound like, essentially.
And so you come up with the sounds of your songs for the most part. You kind of have the theme. Because I'm starting to make my own music, and in the first single I had, something I noticed is I can't do any of that. I can play keyboard and I can play drums a little bit, but I can't make beats or even cover songs. I can just do the basic tempo. If we're in a jam session, I can hop on a keyboard and hop on a drum set and jam. But when it comes to actually producing a song and playing, it's just my brain doesn't function on that end. So making my first single, I'm like, I had to sing it out to Dylan, and shout out Dylan, and sang it out to him, and he was just like, okay, and like played the chords of it. And I was like, not being able to mix and master your own songs, I feel like you really have to be hands-on because no one knows how you want it to sound but you, and you have to correlate that sound to the producer. So it's incredible.
Yeah, and you kind of got to like let it kind of happen naturally too, because you got the mixer guy, whoever mixes it, you kind of have faith in them too, that they'll understand what you want.
You have to,
or trust them that their instincts and intentions will be right.
Yeah.
So because you're not going to get it exactly how you want it perfectly. Your mind has to be open to a certain extent.
It really does, because especially if people want to rearrange, because something I've noticed too is writing style. I have a very alternative writing style than most people, and I'm working with someone, they're like, well, what if we just like took this verse and we moved it after? And you have to be open to that, because you have to be like, oh, okay, well, let's see how that sounds.
Well, and that's why you work with people that you trust and you hire professionals, because they're going to be able to hear things or predict things that you just don't have that mind for. And so, ultimately, more times than not, it turns out better than it would have if you were trying to do it all on your own and if you're not that familiar with it. So just working with people that you trust, I feel like, is a really important part of that process.
Definitely. And luckily, everyone that I got to work with, all the musicians to the sound engineers to my mixing guy and mastering guy, they're all like super pros and just very talented.
And supportive of you.
Yeah.
I heard you and Gerard, too, our producer, talking when you came in about the East Room. I have to know, what's your favorite venue in Nashville? Would the East Room be it, or? I
like the East Room a lot. As far as like small venues.
Yeah. It can be someplace you played or you haven't played, or maybe you want to play.
But, man, my top three would be like Exit In. I love the Exit In. It's just such a big room. And
it got saved.
It's cool.
It's saved, yeah.
Thank God. And probably after that would be the Basement East, because I like the bigger venues.
Really?
Yeah, you get in there when you fill those places, they have like a cool energy to them.
Yeah. They really do. Some place that I've really liked that we actually had our first show, it was the Local. I was really, it's just kind of, because it's kind of like, it feels like a basement.
Yeah.
Like an actual basement that you're playing in. And also the Local Distro, they have jazz night there on Mondays. It's a taco shop during the day, and they turn it into a venue at night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's like really vibey. There's seats. There's like a back porch area. There's cornhole. And just like little spots in Nashville you would never know about unless you're actively in the music community. So, let's go ahead and do our next person. Our producer over there is giving us our time. So, all right. So next person we can do, Richard Nixon. I'm out. No. He was such a baller when he did that, was he not? He was like, you know what? I did do it. I'm out. Okay. I knew how to play 5 musical instruments. I was an avid bowler. I could speak 3 languages.
All right. I don't know anything about Richard Nixon, but I would say 1.
1? Surprisingly, no.
He could play music?
He could play 5 musical instruments. Who knew Richard Nixon was a musician?
Yeah.
He couldn't speak 3 languages.
Yeah, that's the one I would guess, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so now comes to we're kind of winding down to the end of the interview. Got about 5 minutes left. We want Mr. Scotty to come up with 2 truths and a lie. And me and Jenna are going to put our noggins together, and we'll guess together which one we think it is. So,
think about
beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. I'm excited for this because we don't really know him that well. So this is going to be us just purely kind of going with it.
All right, I got it. So 1, I took a trip to Mexico when I was in high school. And 2 would be I was the high school quarterback on my football team. 3 would be I went surfing in Hawaii.
I think I'm going to say 1. And say you didn't take a Mexican trip in high school. Because I feel like the other 2 were like so out there that they're actually believable. I don't know. What about you, Jenna? What do you think?
I think you definitely went surfing in Hawaii. But maybe that means you didn't do it.
It's getting us here, dude.
Actually, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with number 3.
Okay.
It was 1. It was.
I was like, the odds of you taking a trip in high school to Mexico, I mean, that means you would have been. Have you heard of the place where man becomes God in Mexico? That's a trip that I want to. I'm going to destroy the pronunciation. Teotihuacan. I can't say it. I'm not good at pronouncing words. Jenna knows this. It's known as the place where man becomes God, and it has the sun and the moon pyramid, and that's a place that I really, really want to go because I want to climb on top of the pyramid and.
That'd be cool.
And meditate. But yeah, it's a place that I've always wanted to go. So
yeah, I've always wanted to go to Mexico.
So you surfed in Hawaii. How was that?
That was awesome. Yeah.
Tenochtitlan.
Tenochtitlan. I told you I said Teot. Can you imagine me going to Mexico and be like, hey, where's Teotihuacan? They'd be like, well.
They'd be like, get out of here.
Like, this chick doesn't know. So you went surfing. That is so cool though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love surfing. I've always like been intrigued by surf culture and like, but I've never been able to do it growing up in Indiana. But
and you were a quarterback.
Oh, right.
I was a quarterback.
Were you like that cool quarterback that all the cheerleaders loved? And
yeah, I mean, I had it pretty easy in high school growing up. But then when I was like 15, I got into music and became a weird artist, hippie, and kind of like left the...
God, that's so incredible, right? How that works. And that's so funny because I know so many football players who are the same way. Mm-hmm. They were like football players and then they decided like that's not what they wanted to be.
Yeah.
And they pursued music.
Because a lot of schools push football. Like our school was a big football school.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they pushed men to be it. Jenna was you were a cheerleader, weren't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was a F the world, so I never would have done any of that in high school. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's been fun sitting down with you, Scotty. Now we're going to get to see Scotty perform stripped performance of his songs. Are you playing one or two songs? Got two songs. Yeah. So without any further ado, this is the Underground Music Collective. I'm Michelle Stone.
I'm Jenna Rose.
And this is the Garden of Eden.
I'm Scotty Chapman from the Garden of Eden, and this is a song called Sweet Angel. Starlight, sweet angel, save your love for me, 'cause you know that I'll be with you once I have my angel wings. Sunlight, sweet angel, shine your love on me, 'cause you know that I need you more than I need anything. And love, I believe, sweet angel, take me to the light. Tell me what it's like to fly with heaven's golden wings. Sweet angel, if all on earth is real, tell me how it feels to know every unknown thing. Dear my love, hear the love. Sweet angel, your spirit is in me. Where do we find you? Our existence is a mystery. Beauty, sweet angel, shine like a golden star. me what it's like to fly with heaven's golden wings. Sweet angel who walks above the clouds, lives beyond this world and feels everything. Dear my love, hear the love, dear sweet love, feel the love. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Oh, ooh. Yeah, yeah. Oh, ooh. Hi, my name's Scotty Chapman, and this is a song called Think for Yourself. Think about what you know and what you think is right. Think about the good things or the bad in life. Think about the people who never thought twice. Think for yourself with an open mind. Some people write the news and others write the songs. Some people wrote the rights and some wrote all the wrongs. Think of all the things that our leaders try to hide. Think for yourself with an open mind. Well, I never thought that I would see the world at such a loss. When you watch the TV, what you see is all you got. Think for your freedom and let freedom roll the dice. Think for yourself with an open mind. See the world at such a loss. When you watch the TV, what you see is all you got. Think for your freedom and let freedom roll the dice. Think for yourself with an open mind. Some read the Bible, others go to church. Some know the song, but don't know all the words. Think about what you know and what you think is right. Think for yourself with an open mind. Think for yourself with an open mind. Think for yourself with an open mind.